Good day, viewers. Today I'm on Mr. Abayomi's Popola's farm. We call it Open Heaven Farms. And I want to tell you that the heavens have opened to him on a number of places. Uh, Today, there's no time I get to this farm that I'm not inspired because I can see that he has touched virtually every aspect of farming. But before I go ahead, I would like us to meet you. Mr. Abayomi, please can we meet you?
Yes, good afternoon, viewers. My name is Abayomi the co-founder with my wife of Open Heaven Farms.
Wow.
And we've always have this vision that when we retire, that we want to retire to a farm. And to the glory of God, God has perfected it. I retired in 2020, but before then, I've started this farm since 2014.
Wow. But before you go ahead, have you always been a farmer? Is it farming that
No,
okay?
I finished from Unilag as an accountant. I studied accounting. Then from there, I started working. I served in Ibadan under First Bank. And since then, I've always been a banker.
Wow.
So, but later in life, I have to move abroad. So when
you move about abroad.
Yes.
That time, what do they call it, Japa too?
No, it's not Japa. it was a long story. I had to move because of my son.
Okay.
And in the process, when I got there, my son was, I said long story, my son was supposed to receive medical care there. So I moved there. And in the process, I saw the mode of study there. So I decided to go into engineering.
Oh.
So
from accountant to
engineering. So then from there, it got to a time that I had 3 boys then. 2 of them were now agitating that they want to come and meet their brother.
Okay.
And their mother doesn't have a choice. My wife was a banker too. She was with UBA. So that was how everybody had to move together over there. So, and we now started thinking of what are we going to do when we retire. Then I now told my wife that since secondary school, I've always seen myself sitting in a farm, living in a farm after my retirement. And she keyed into it. She's a wonderful woman. All along, we were both working over there, but she will ask me, take your salary to Nigeria. She was the one looking after us there.
Wow.
So she...
What a supportive
yes,
partner.
She was very supportive, and that's how we were able to achieve what we have achieved today. We didn't borrow from any bank. Wow. And I give God the glory, and I give her the glory, because my whole salary for more than 10 years, we're bringing it here
for investment,
and she was the one funding the family, except for the time that my 3 children were in the university at the same time. That we have to incur a lot of cost. That was when we reduced the investment here.
That's good. I'm very, very impressed. We can see that husband and wife can work together and bring out something beautiful. Let's talk about your farming experience. I can see this large mass of land. Did you acquire everything at the same time?
Yes, I did. That's another story which is a wonderful testimony. Very wonderful testimony. My second son, when he was about to get into the university, the school fees was supposed to be about 14,000 euro. And we were looking at it, where are we going to get this money from? And all of a sudden, I just got one new job, very good paying job, that I applied for a credit card. They saw my pay slip and said, they called me and said, is this salary for 1 month? I said, that's for 1 week.
Wow.
So they were like impressed. And after about 3 months on that credit card, which falls into the period that my son gained admission into the university, and they now said, they just threw a check of 30,000 euro
Wow.
to me. They said, we have given you a loan. If you want it,
So we
just
can see your potential.
cash this check. If not, you can return the check to us.
Wow.
My wife said, no, we don't want. This is basic. No. But I kept quiet. But something was telling me, you said you want to retire as a farmer. This is the money for the land. Something was, I was having that vision. So I now called my wife. I said, we are taking this money to Nigeria. He said, no. And she was supposed to come for the school of ministry. We were both pastors in MFM. She was supposed to come to school of ministry at that time. So I now said, when you are going to take this money. Then my son's school fees now came in.
At
the same time, I told her, you see, this school fees, we are going to pay from this money. We will pay the 14,000 from this money. And we will continue from there. On first day that my son will resume in that school, I followed him. I was the one that picked him down. But my son, I'm sure the next time he's in Nigeria, I will let him meet you. He's always smiling. When we got there, he was just smiling to everybody. And the lady that was supposed to attend to him now looked at him and said, where are you from originally? He said, Navan. That's where we were living.
Okay.
And the school fees that we were supposed to pay is for non-EU.
Wow.
But when he said...
Supposed to pay as foreigner.
When he said it's from Navan, when the lady was sticking the thing on the computer, she just stick European.
Wow.
And we paid 900.
900 instead of 14,000.
14,000.
That is miracle.
And we now took the whole money. Then exchange rate for the whole 30,000 was about 4.8 million.
Wow.
And we bought this place for 4 million.
Wow. That was good. That was good. Let's see some of what you are venturing in agri.
Yeah.
I can see that you have a land for maize planting.
Yes.
I can see
and
that
cassava.
And cassava. All through this place you plant maize and cassava.
Yeah.
I can also see that you have a poultry pen.
Yeah.
The last time I went there, I also saw that you have rabbit.
Rabbit.
Done rabbitry before.
Yeah.
I can see you as a complete farmer. And where we're going now is your fish
the
pond.
fish
Where
pond.
you have a fish pond rather.
Yeah.
This is very, very interesting. So how are you able to combine all these things, piggery, rabbitry, even crop farming, and then
Okay, you see, it has been a very good experience, but for now I'm pulling out of some things because we don't have reliable people that can take it up from where
you are.
we are, because you can't do everything all alone.
Yeah.
I'm sure you know there was one time that Dr. Tola Ogunleye was here.
Okay, yeah.
Yes, he was with me here, but at the time things were not going on well. Then we have to shelve some things. You see, with age, you can't do everything. But this time, after retirement, one is supposed to have a manager that can do these things. But unfortunately, most of the young people these days, they are not ready to do anything. Even those that are ready, they are ready for their pockets. So that's the unfortunate thing about my experience in farming. My vision was to see somebody. I'm not that kind of person that wants to hand over to my children because they are not interested. All my children are engineers, and they are not interested in farming the way I am interested. So I'm not looking at leaving this place for them. I was looking at, can I see somebody that has the same vision with me so that he can carry on. My intention when I retired in 2020 was to come back, see somebody that will be managing the poultry, and probably me and him will be sharing 50-50. I want to leave everything to him, but unfortunately there was nobody that could fit into that shoe, you know. So I have to, at a point, because the pressure was too much on me, leave that aside and do other things. But in saying that, you see, the Yorubas will say ẹni tí ò bá dóko bàbá ẹ̀ ló mìírí, and tí bàbá òun ló tóbi jù. When I now came to Nigeria and I was now networking with other farmers, I now discover potentials in other things. That was when I now discovered that growing tomato, habanero, bell pepper can be very lucrative.
Wow.
And
that is vegetable completely.
Vegetables that is very profitable, lucrative, you know. And since then I've ventured into it. At the point I have to go to Obasanjo farms to learn some of these things, and I was going from my farm to the place every day. At a point we were given, about 5 of us were given 15 screen houses to manage, and I'll tell you it was quite a good experience. After 1 year I now decided to come back to my farm to replicate what I've seen in that place.
And in that Obasanjo farm, they just gave it for free?
It's for free.
Wow.
No, we didn't pay 1 cent. The only thing, yes, the only thing we were doing was buying diesel for the generator, buying some few other things that we were using in the place. No, we didn't pay rent in the place. It was quite a good experience. I must say that openly, you know. And since then, I've been able to master the art of doing vegetable. And
I will be one of your apprentices.
You see, if you want me, we just did the nursery for some habanero and nursery for tomato. We have some on the field that we have transplanted, but these are just the fresh ones that we want, that we are planning. This is just about 14 days old now.
Okay. So one of them is tomato, the other one is
this is habanero. Yeah, this is habanero. The other one is tomato. Okay. They are not the same dates. I think there are 5 days interval between them.
So one is pepper, one is tomato.
Yes, one is pepper, one is tomato.
Wow. So normally in the nursery house, how long do they stay here?
They stay here. The tomato will stay for 21 days, but at times it can extend to 25. Okay. Then the habanero stays for about 28 days.
Okay.
Yeah.
You have actually mastered it.
You see, I have one of my...
So how many months does it take for them to mature to a time that you can sell them?
Tomato is 3 months.
Wow.
Habanero too will come up in 3 months, but you can continue to harvest habanero for 1 year.
Wow. That same thing you planted?
That same thing you planted, you can continue to harvest it for 1 year. But tomato is a determinable distance. So after 3 months, 4 months, the production will begin to reduce, and so you have to end that and probably pull it out and start another cycle.
Let's quickly say the one you've done in open field.
Yeah.
The point you even try feed mill.
Yes, we have a feed mill for the poultry, and that's why we were planting. In those days, we were planting a lot of corn.
Yeah.
You know, if you want to see, this is the feed mill.
Okay, no, let's just go straight
to the tomato.
tomato.
You know, so then we were using the corn from our farm to feed the birds. Yeah, but you know, the Nigerian factor is, in fact, it's part of why my children said,
You don't want to come back.
leave this poultry.
Okay.
Because they know that once we don't have the soya beans, we don't have corn, I won't be able to sleep. Which was affecting my health as well. So I now decided, let me leave the poultry. There are other things that you can do that can give you something to show for your efforts.
So we are approaching the open field now.
So,
Okay.
do you want us to move in between it? We can do that. There's no...
Okay, we can.
Yes. This is the open field, and here each of these beds takes 200 tomatoes. 200. And each of the stem, plus or minus, should give you about 3 to 4 kg. Plus or minus should give you about 3 to 4 kg. Each of the stem should give you 3 to 4 kg. So, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 here. So it's like we have 1,600 stems here. So by 4 kg, that's 1,006. That's 3,2. That's 6,4 times 4 kg. But on the average, this place should be giving us, in monetary terms, nothing less than 5 million.
Wow.
So
At the end of the day.
at the end of the period, all
5 million.
all things being equal.
I can see why you say this is lucrative.
Yes. You see, that's my experience at Obasanjo, you know. But this is not rain-fed. This is, we use irrigation, and the kind of irrigation we use is, we use lay flat.
I can see the pipes that run
Yes,
through.
that run through. So we are not dependent on rain. So any time of the year we plant and we get results.
Are there particular seed that do well with this kind of system? Or you can use the same system both for the screen house and this one?
There are some seeds that do well in the open field than in the screen house. You see, but most times, Ridgewan, they call it Ridgewan, they are from Netherlands, they do well more in the screen house, you know. But this one that we have here, this is Picante tomato, and they are doing well as well. They do well in the screen house as well. This, you can use this in both places.
I can see like a polythene. What do you call this?
This is mulching film.
Mulching film.
Yeah, this mulching film, the purpose is for, we don't have to do any weeding. This prevents other weed from coming up. So
that they will not disturb.
They will not disturb the plants. Yes. So once you put this, you can go and sleep and expect your crop. You know. So
do you need any kind of fertilizer?
Yes, we do. We do, and we call it fertigation. We send it through the water, and the water passes through. But there are times that you have to use pesticide, insecticide, because like this particular one, when we were in the nursery, they were attacked by caterpillar.
Okay.
So we have to use pesticide to curb it. So there are times that you see you can't grow a plant and expect that it will all sail through. You have to do some things. So that's why at times you buy some things, you won't use them. But at times you buy them, and because if the need arises today,
And
if
it's
you
not
don't,
available.
it's not available and you don't attack it today, if you leave it for too long, it will affect so many of them. And don't forget that each of these plants is bringing in your 5 million.
Wow. This is wonderful. This is wonderful. I must commend your efforts, and I
you,
must
sir.
commend the fact that you are very persistent in what you intend to do. In fact, I saw something like a snail.
Yes.
So you've done snail farming too?
I've done snail farming before, but at a point, you see the wind velocity in this area is much. If you look at those pens there, the wind velocity took off the roof for one of them.
Wow.
And I was not in Nigeria at that time. They said the wind just came through the gate, opened the gate wide, and was like moving and moved towards the pen and scatter the pen. You understand? That same thing has happened to this before, but then we were covering it with nylon.
Okay.
So that was why we now decided to put a permanent structure on top of it. But since then, because like I said to you, since I retired, it's not the same strength as when I was still.
Tried.
So I have not been able to continue the snairy, but I'm good. Yes, in fact, very soon we are doing that, because apart from getting the snail, I'm partnering with some companies abroad that will be taking the slime.
Okay.
You know, so they, yes, they are getting the machine, then they will bring it to Nigeria, then we'll start from there.
And that means you now have to go on a large scale.
Yes, it has to be on a large scale. And the way this sliming happens is you take the slime every 4 days or once a week. You know, and those ones that are old, then you sell those ones. You know, so
from your experience, I can see that we have not done anything in agriculture yet. You can see that it is wide.
It's wide. Very, very wide. You can only do your own bit. It's wide. You see, because if you want to do everything, you will not be able to achieve it. Like, I have tasted poultry, it's good, but for my age, it's time consuming.
Yeah.
You know, and that's why.
So somebody can just decide any aspect of agri that you want to go.
Yes.
And put in the best.
And put in the best. If you put in your best in snairy, you make your money. If you put in your best in vegetable farming, you make your money. There's nothing you touch in farming. If you look at the palm tree, some people are in that business and they are doing well, because there is so many nothing that is wasted in that area.
Exactly, yeah.
You know, so even if you look at this, people come here to take this mango and they go and sell. I let everybody come in, take whatever they want, because I believe they want to eat. But some people still come here, take it and go and eat. I have like 6 of them in these premises. That's one there. This is one. This is one. We have on the other side as well. You know, and this one started growing about 3 years ago. So, but I'm not making money out of it. I give that to the community.
So what advice, as we round up this evening, what advice do you have for the young ones, especially those who want to run out of the country?
You see, the young ones, I always advise them, you don't need to start with 10 acres. You don't need to start with 5. Start with 1 acre and master one thing that you want to do there. From that one thing, you can move into other areas. But if you want to start and start everything at the same time, you see, if you don't plan well, you are planning to fail. So I did not see myself, because like I mentioned to you earlier on, for everything that you see here is my sweat, my wife's sweat. No, we didn't borrow from any bank. I have the opportunity, if I want to borrow from a bank, I will borrow. I know how to write feasibility studies from my experience in the bank, but I decided I'm not going to borrow. And to the glory of God, see what we have been. Everything that you have seen here, maybe I have worked some I have gotten them from the farm. The money is from the farm. This is where the money is. We just need to be there.
I feel like you put a very comfortable farmhouse here.
Yes.
Where whenever you are here, nobody will even know that you are in Nigeria.
Yes. And you see, another aspect of farming that a lot of people don't realize is you just have to be there. Absentee farmer cannot make it in Nigeria because the young ones are too dubious. I'm sorry I'm using that type of language. They don't have the kind of commitments that you have. But because I'm staying here, if they are supposed to start work at 7 o'clock, they are not there, they will see me. The fish, I do it all alone. They will want to come and help me. I tell them, no, leave me to do it. I want to be active in doing some things. So most times I will be there working on the fish pond. They will still be sleeping. So I have to go and wake them up, you know. And the aspect of sealing, I witnessed that much when I was doing poultry. Poultry is...
That's another big challenge.
Yes, it's a very big challenge. See camera everywhere, but they still steal. You will see them everywhere. I have different methods of their stealing habits. So that's the challenge in poultry. Very, very big challenge, you know. And I just see that I'm not ready to do all those monitoring. When I was very active, I was doing it, but this time, my children called me one day and said, do you want to leave money for us?
Or why are you working like this?
Why are you working like this? You are supposed to be retired and you have a good retirement benefit. Why are you still working like this? And now decided to think about it. Who am I working for? Let me do the little I can do.
Anyway, what you are doing is out of hobby, out of interest.
Yes.
And I tell you, you are also building other people. From this little we are doing now, it's already successful. A number of people can still learn from this, and I tell you, it should be a blessing to them. Mr. Abayomi, it's been a wonderful time.
Thank you, sir.
I can tell you, even me, I'm inspired.
Thank
I
you, sir.
want to tell you that I will come back to learn 1 or 2 things.
No problem, sir.
Especially, I'm really interested in the vegetable, because I want to make 5 million within
a short place. Yes, it's just they seem, and the good thing about the time that we are in, you see, some people will call themselves agronomists.
Yeah.
Yes, they are good, but there are some few other things that you have to learn. But if you are the person that can probe deep, the internet is there. Get the knowledge from the internet, then be friendly with some farmers. I travel most times to Ekpe, Ibadan, Osun to see farms in my learning stage. And you won't believe it that when you get there, you will see something new that people are doing, and they are getting results. So that's why networking is good in this business of farming.
Because you can't know it all.
You can't know it all. It's not possible.
Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much. And please greet your wife for us.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. Bye. That's it.